Chris, what is our fourth main topic today?
Our fourth topic comes from, oops, I gotta scroll, I'm so sorry. Daniel Yamasaki. Hi, John and crew. I'm not a fan of the original Top Gun film, but I couldn't resist hearing the outgoing enthusiasm that revolved around Top Gun Maverick. I can honestly say that this is my favorite movie of the year by far.
Yes.
So I was wondering, is there any news at all about a sequel? Considering its high critic reviews and how much it made at the box office, thanks, and keep up the great work.
All right, thanks a lot for sending this in, Daniel. So obviously when you have a movie that has like shattered so many different box office records and just like and not just making money, it's won the trifecta. It made box office, the audiences loved it, the critics loved it. I mean, it just swept all three. It got the hat trick. This movie was it. That was it. No more Top Gun. The whole plan going into it this was Maverick's swan song. I mean, hell, at the end, he literally flies off into the sunset at the end of this movie. That was it. It's his swan song. You know, drones are going to be taking over. This was the last hurrah of the pilot age. And that was it. They were going to be done. However, the movie ended up grossing over $1.3 billion. Might hit 1.4. Maybe it already has at this point. It has been beloved. It has had incredible legs. People love it. And just like the Joker movie that was always intended to be a one-shot and nothing more, when you win an Academy Award nominated for Best Picture, make over $1 billion, plans can change. However, at this point, we haven't heard anything coming out of the studios, the filmmakers, Tom Cruise himself, about having any plans to do another Top Gun. Well, the director of the film was actually directly asked about it. Joseph Kosinski, they straight up asked him, can we move forward with Top Gun, with Tom Cruise, without Tom Cruise? Can another one happen? And this was Kosinski said. He said the following: boy, I don't know. I approached it as Maverick's rite of passage, being the fundamental core of the film, but who knows how it'll be interpreted in the future. I mean, we're all just so relieved and grateful that we got this one out the door. Because remember, this thing almost didn't happen. And then when it did happen, it almost just got dumped on streaming. We're just happy to get this thing out the door. After so much work, we're obviously enjoying being out there and playing for people. We're not really, at least I'm not really thinking about the next one. I'm just enjoying this experience. It was a very special confluence of the right group of people in the right story at the right time. And that comes to us from Joseph Kosinski. And by the way, the producer of the film,
Jerry Bruckheimer,
he basically said the same thing. Look, we're just glad this thing's out and we're glad we're doing it. I right now still believe, despite the potential Oscar buzz it may get, despite the $1.3, $1.4 billion it has made, I still don't think there's going to be another one. For a couple of reasons. One, I absolutely believe you cannot do another one without Tom Cruise. I think it's folly to think you can do another one without Tom Cruise. I don't care how good looking, what's his name is. You just had him on screen there. I can't remember.
Glenn Powell?
Glenn Powell. Him? I don't care how charming and delightful and good looking Glenn Powell is. I don't think you can make one without Tom Cruise. It's got to have Cruise. It took them 20 plus years to get this movie made. Literally, it took them that long to get this thing made. And then they actually went into production on it 5.5 years ago. It was 4 years ago at Comic-Con that they dropped the first trailer for it. And then, and a lot of this had nothing to do with them, not their fault. The pandemic hit and all this, and all the trials and tribulations, the turmoil to get that thing made. And they finally got it done. The reality is Tom Cruise is now 60. And he's got 2 big Mission Impossible movies that he's working on right now. He's got this outer space movie that he's working on right now that's going to be shooting in space. By the time Tom Cruise gets around to doing this film, if they wanted to do another one, he's going to be 64, 65. And again, to me, I think Tom Cruise clearly doesn't need the money. And I can't imagine the studio does it without him. So listen, when your film makes $1 billion, it is never a possibility they could come back. Just look at Joker. But I am right now going to guess they don't do another Top Gun. That's my guess. I wouldn't put money on it, but that's my guess. Rob, what do you think? Is it time? Do they need to come back and do another one? Or can they do it maybe without Tom Cruise?
Okay, instead of Top Gun Maverick, Top Gun Penny Benjamin. The whole thing's about Jennifer Connelly's character getting the bar, and you make it like a Coyote Ugly thing, and it stays on the ground.
Top bar.
It's Cocktail, meets Top Gun.
Or Tip Bar.
I'm telling you, and it doesn't have to make $1 billion. One location in San Diego, you said there. I mean, it'd make at least $100 million. I'd go to see Jennifer Connelly run a bar. But no, to be honest, that's my pitch. Top Gun, Penny Benjamin. You'll fly over her tower or something.
Buzz her tower.
Buzz her tower. Yeah, buzz her tower. But John, I'm with you. I just don't
get it
see.
'cause drinks, alcohol, buzz.
Yeah.
Get it?
I just don't see them making a sequel to this film. I mean, this was also a very difficult film to make.
Oh, hugely difficult to make.
I just don't see you could bring the pilots back and go on another mission. But I think part of the appeal of this film was the fact that there was 36 years between the movies. And bringing Tom Cruise back, I mean, if anything, this movie is as much about Tom Cruise as a performer, as a movie star, as a pop icon, as anything else. So that's part of what the nostalgia fuel that fueled this movie, not unlike the jet fuel that fueled the planes. I mean, I think that this is a once in a lifetime occurrence, and I don't think it could be duplicated. I mean, you know what I could see happen though? I could see them doing a TV series about recruits, like a
Top Gun Bob.
Top Gun Bob, why not? But no, those characters, it might be interesting because those characters are great. Like, I would hang out with those people. And I could see them doing something like that, a spin-off show.
Top Gun Origins, Bob.
I mean, I'm there. I'm down for it. I don't know. We want to take a moment and thank the sponsor of this video, BetterHelp. Guys, long gone are the days that we could afford to just ignore our emotional and mental health. And it's also time that we got over this idea that seeking emotional and mental health is some kind of sign of weakness. When we want to get more physically healthy, we go to the gym and we're proud of that to get our physical bodies healthier and stronger. Well, it's time we gave the same kind of importance to our mental and emotional health, and that's where our friends at BetterHelp come in. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers you video therapy, on the phone, or even live chat only therapy sessions. And I know a lot of people have thought about starting therapy, but they get held up with the idea that it's going to be really expensive. Well, BetterHelp is much more affordable than traditional in-person therapy. So listen, guys, it's time for us to start taking our mental health far more seriously. Our listeners of the John Campea Show get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/Campea. That's BetterHelp.com/Campea. Chris, so 2 questions. One, can you do another one? Because I just put forward all these reasons why I don't think Tom Cruise would do it, but could you do another one without Tom Cruise at all? And do you think ultimately they'll do another one with or without Cruise?
You could, but will it have the same impact? And we did have a really great young cast of characters here. I do think if you explore them in a television format, that would be more effective than a film. I could be wrong on this, though. I wasn't the target demographic for this. I was like, this is a good film. It went on my way. It's no surprise people are talking about a sequel, though, because it did make so much money.
And it's so good.
It's a really well done film that so many people love. But I mean, Ray put this in the chat. Yeah. He loved this movie and wants this to be the end of the story because he's going to watch this movie forever.
Yeah.
Like, I love that.
Put it on Paramount Plus, finally, after it's done.
Yeah.
And I'll watch it you don't know how many times I'm planning on watching this when it goes on streaming. Because I still have Paramount Plus. I still have it.
Do you have Paramount Plus?
I have
or
it.
do I have Paramount
no,
Plus that is
this
on
one,
your
I'll
TV?
claim this
Whoa,
one.
that's true love. You have Paramount Plus, not
I forgot
Campea
to
Plus?
cancel it. So put it on there already.
Something else, John. This movie is also about sort of the end of the dogfighting era.
See, that's one of the big things too. Yes.
I mean, that whole way of life is ending.
The
that
whole
was
opening
definitely
speech from why am I forgetting the actor's name who plays
Ed Harris.
Ed Harris. When Harris says like this era's over,
Yep.
it's like okay, but not yet today. Like not today, it's over. But
Ironically, there are dogfights happening like currently right now.
yeah. So I mean,
so it's not that over.
yeah, but
It's true.
I don't know. But listen, even if they wanted to, when could they do it? Like you look up Tom Cruise's schedule right now. Like when can, and I solely believe like I see some people in live chat saying do a spinoff. I don't see the general audience being interested in a spinoff without Tom Cruise.
No, it's so Tom Cruise centric. Unless you do a TV show, I could see like a procedural show except with flyers.
Yeah, like Jag or
part of
something.
the
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, man, if a Top Gun sequel would prevent me from getting my Les Grossman movie, I don't
Yeah,
want
F
that to
that.
happen.
I want
That's
less.
true.
Grossman.
I want Les Grossman. Come on.
Okay, what about so obviously you can't do Top Gun Iceman. What about Top Gun Slider? Slider.
Slider.
You stink. What about Slider?
What if
You
it's
know
a
what?
movie of Les
Where is
Grossman
Slider now?
trying to get Top Gun 2 made?
Well, that's so you do what was it called not the producer,
The Offer.
The Offer, but for Top Gun. The guy who played Slider,
Rick Rossovich.
is that his name?
Yeah.
The only other thing I know that he did was he did Steve Martin's Roxanne with Daryl Hannah and Steve Martin. The Cyrano de Bergerac kind of story. That's the only other thing I ever remember him being in. He was in Top Gun. He was in Roxanne, which is a top 20 favorite comedy of mine of all time. But I don't really remember him from anything else.
So what are you getting at, John?
I'm telling you, Top Gun Slider.
But wouldn't
Let's bring it
Slider be
back.
like 70?
Yeah.
But
you
so
want
is
him
Tom
back, just
Cruise.
say-
Yeah,
But Tom Cruise is still climbing on top of biplanes, being
Yeah,
like,
Tom
"What's
Cruise-
up,
yeah, Tom
guys?
Cruise
This
is
is Tuesday."
Slider's like he was probably killed in combat.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait. I have a question. How expensive was this movie to make?
Yeah, not much.
Oh,
Like,
It
because
was-
if you
it
do
was-
a series and you go by the same
no,
rules,
You can't. You're not going to get 800 hours of
Yeah, see, that's what
fighter
I'm
jet
saying.
footage,
And they had to
with-
pay for
TV.
that.
Yeah,
Maybe
and,
that's why they filmed so much of it, so they could just bank it and then use it forever.
it's like what they
It's
did
the
with
story blocks of movies.
it's Power Rangers, right?
Yeah.
They shot like 30 or 40. What are the Ghiblies? What do they call it? Putties.
putties.
Like they shot like
great putty
40 or
job.
50 shots of that, and then they use those 40 or 50
Just
shots
like an
Over and
F-18.
in
over
like
again.
over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing.
Internet clip that,
wow,
please.
that's like
One more time? There we go.
that's instant copyright.
Now
that is already memed.
Thank you.
So anyway, guys, questions for you. What do you think about this? It doesn't sound like the filmmakers are putting a lot of thought into the idea of doing another one. It sounds like they're maybe resigned that this is it. But hey, listen, when a film makes $1 billion, and heaven forbid if it does get nominated for Best Picture, I'm not saying it will, but if it does, it's going to re-spark these conversations. Do you think there's going to be another Top Gun? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and leave those thoughts there.